Hi guys. So we all know that I'm a musical person. I have loved musicals since I could remember when. I remember in my childhood, I would just be surrounded by these videotapes of like the Disney movies made before they ruined everything.
I mustn't overreact. I must remain calm.
And I would watch like the 50s and 30s kind of things on TCM, which doesn't exist anymore, sadly. But surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I don't know, I grew up also watching Bollywood films. So I am a big fan of like the old work of Bollywood. I'm not really a fan of their work today because maybe I don't like change. Maybe I'm just a hater because, haters are out there and I can be a hater too. It's my party, I can hate if I want to, hate if I want to, hate if I want to, ooh. So, the movie I am going to be reviewing today is Goliyon ki Raasleela Ram-Leela. It's not my favorite, but it's one of them. So let us just begin by saying that I was gonna rank these movies that I love so much because I thought I had the capability, and then I realized I'm one of those people who can't make decisions. And so I'm just gonna be, reviewing each individual film as time passes. But this particular movie, guys, if you have never watched an Indian film, watch this one. Watch this one.
But anywho, I'm talking too much. Let's start. Let's begin. Let's review.
First of all, we'll be looking at the storyline, okay? The storyline. And then we'll be looking at the acting, because, guys, the storyline can be great, but the acting can just suck. And then lastly, but not least, we have, what do we have? We have music. Because we know that we need that music. We need to see dancing. We need to see action. We need to see the passion and the choreography. We're going to be those people. So those are the three things we're just going to be looking at. And let's go ahead, let's just start. So if we can be frank here, the storyline is not great because it's a William Shakespeare inspired story. It is the story of the infamous Romeo and Juliet, guys. That story has been milked, it has been fermented, and it has expired, okay? But what I can say is that this film was surprisingly refreshing because it brought on a new perspective in that it's in an Indian setting, okay? Two rival groups, have these two people falling in love, and you know how the story goes. So I don't need to say much on that. So storyline was pretty good. But what made it so great, guys, was the last two, okay? Because I have not seen a movie like this before in Bollywood. I haven't looked at a lot of their recent works just because, as I said, I'm not a fan of their recent works. But when I was sifting through, after a while of not watching their movies, I came across this one and I was like, let's give it a shot. We have the famous, the beautiful, and the talented Deepika Padukone, okay? Deepika Padukone is like the queen of Bollywood right now, if I can say that, if I can be allowed to say that. And she plays across Ranveer Singh, okay? The reason why I'm not saying the characters' names is because I prefer just, labeling the actors because that's just easier for me to picture. But she's not called Juliet in the movie, and that's what makes it so cool because her name is Leela, and then his name is Ram, and then you combine them and you get Ram-Leela. So I believe that was supposed to be some sort of god, that when you combine it, it's just these intertwining lovebirds. But what I can say is that their acting was great. It was really moving. It was funny. It was very, heated at times. Overall, their chemistry was just great, and that's so important in a movie because everything is important in a movie. Let me not just say that storyline is important, acting is important, music is important. Everything combined is what makes the movie great. And for me, they were awesome when it came to acting. It was just a great ensemble cast overall. Not just them two, but the cast overall was also great. So, I give them a thumbs up for that. The next thing that I was looking at is the music. They were very great. What am I saying? They were great. You can't say very great. It's like saying very something. Very better. Yeah, so the music was great. But the one that I was particularly drawn to is when they first meet. It's not exactly their first meeting, but it's like their second meeting, if I can say that, because he comes, as a man, he comes after her in a way, and she bumps into him, and then they have this moment, which just makes it fantastic. But what, guys, I can say about this movie is just so colorful. Like, oh my gosh, I have never seen a movie that is this thought out of when it comes to color. You're seeing reds, you're seeing purples, you're seeing white, black, gold, all these lovely colors. And it's just so visually attractive because when you're in the cinema, you just don't feel like you want to shift your gaze because it is such a captivating film from start to finish. Even their intro is, captivating. You're just like, that was a great choice color. And when it came to the scene where they were dancing, it was very thought through. Like, there's a scene where they're dancing in two circles. So this is a scene where I'm talking about them dancing in two circles. The inner one made up of women and the outer circle is made up of men. But there is so much activity that the cameraman has to capture the part where Ram sings and Leela intersects, and it's right here. And it's so perfect. Then they start doing these Russian dances, and amidst all this color, it just makes it so perfect. Okay guys, so I'm heading out now. That was my review. I hope that gave some insight to some people. I highly recommend you watch this movie and don't just do it to pass time. Like, just don't. Some movies deserve better, and this is one of them. And just create the mood. Get some snacks, get some popcorn, some ice cream, maybe some Oreos in there, and have fun. Yeah. So bye guys. Ain't nothing gonna break my